I got a phone call on Friday, immediately after the collapse, about coming down here. It was from the town, actually the town attorney, I believe. And I got here middle of the afternoon on Friday. I was asked to investigate why the Champlain South fell down, to assist the emergency rescue people to the extent they asked for my help, to work with the Miami-Dade Police Department to the extent they asked for my help, and that's what we've been doing. We've looked at a few other buildings that we were asked to look at. My experience is that I've been unfortunately doing this kind of thing for like 53 or 63 years, and have done things like the Pentagon and the World Trade Center, the first World Trade Center in Oklahoma City, maybe 100 other different kinds of collapses, some overseas, some here. We did the Miami-Dade garage collapse that happened here. We did the Florida bridge collapse. We did a facade collapse in Biscayne Boulevard, and one other one, I can't remember exactly where. Oh, something in Tallahassee. As a structural engineer, we're looking at we're doing a modeling of the design of the building, an engineering model. I was designing buildings back when these buildings were designed. So the system they use, which is a flat slab design system, I've done hundreds of times with garages and on different foundation systems. We've done those all over the country. But we are doing 3D and 2D analysis of the design, so we can make sure that the design could support all the loads they were supposed to support in 1979 or not. We're working on that now. We actually used some of the 2D models because we were asked to determine under what wind loads we thought the remaining building would stand, and we did that because we were all worried about the storm that was coming at the time. I've been here the whole time, and I'm essentially going to stay here unless I can't get access to some things, and I'll go home for a while and then come back down again. In my office, I have over about 15 people, different parts of things that are running numbers and doing that stuff. We are collecting all the information that we can. We're listening to everything from every email I get from every person, regardless of how silly they might seem, because some people might think of something that we haven't thought of. What we're attempting to do now, in addition to studying the South, we're waiting to get access to the site so I can get into the site. I've been around the whole thing, but not in it, and to get to places where materials are being stored so we can do testing to understand whether it was built in accordance with the drawings that were produced, and then we're going to evaluate that to see if what we find built is a little different than maybe what was there, which is not unusual, but that we just have to do that. I've looked at 3 or 4 other buildings that the city has asked us to look at, and what I can tell everybody is that having designed $49 billion worth of buildings already, and having been to many disasters, this, I believe, is a one-off situation. I don't know why it happened yet. It's a long ways out to figure that out, and all these people that are coming up with reasons it happened don't have any facts for those reasons. I know nothing now in anything that I've looked at that tells me that any of the buildings that I've looked at are in imminent danger of collapse. Buildings are pretty resilient to different things. There was a trigger that made the South happen. It's up to us to try and find that trigger. I don't think, while I understand people are concerned, they shouldn't be overly concerned, because there's nothing that tells me that whatever that happened at South is going to happen in other buildings. The sooner we can get into the site to do the below ground things that we want to do, the better it is for us to understand that part. But I've been through the North building pretty thoroughly. They've been very gracious in letting us do all kinds of things there. And everything that we've seen in the North building to date is better than what the drawings call for in the first place. So I just think people should try and take a deep breath as much as they can.